Hello, welcome to Digital Scrapbooking in Affinity. My name's Angela, and here in England we're enjoying some wonderfully hot summer weather, except last week was a bit too hot and we had this heat wave, and right splat bang in the middle of that heat wave, my daughter was on her Silver Duke of Edinburgh expedition in North Wales, where temperatures exceeded 35 degrees and it was extremely uncomfortable for all of her group. So I wanted to create a little page about her adventure today and use this collection by Lynn Marie called Quest, and it includes some word art in it about courage and being stronger than you think, which I thought would be quite appropriate for the first page in her Duke of Edinburgh album. So this particular photo was taken by one of her hiking companions, but it's on her camera and all the rest of the photos are hers. Let's start, shall we? Let's see, some paper to start with, some background, and I think I want to put something with some ferns in the background. She says that it was some of the paths had not been used for such a long time. They were totally overgrown with ferns and they had to hack their way through. So a bit of ferns sticking out in the background. And then a neutral paper. I'm going to go with the grey tones because it's the Silver Duke of Edinburgh. And then I'm just going to group together that ripped paper layers. That's Control G. And then select this bit which says paint or mask for paper. I'm going to actually mask one of the photos to that. So let's get my photos. There's one here of the map. This is the map from day one. It was a 3-day hike with 2 nights overnight camping in tents, and they had to carry all their gear on their backs. So it's quite strenuous. And they were up in the mountains near Llangollen, hiking through the Belwyn area. This little character here is called Flip. And one of the things they have to do on their Duke of Edinburgh expedition is a project which they then do a presentation on afterwards. So their project was a photography project for the adventures of Flip. So lots of photos with Flip in them doing all the various different things that they do on their Duke of Edinburgh expedition. And a couple of shots that my daughter took of scenery just to set the scene. For layer control, if you are selected a layer when you add something to Affinity, it puts it where you're clicked into. So we're selecting this photo spot, select the photo, it goes in directly above that photo spot. Let's drop it on top, and there we have our scenery photos, some photo mats, and for that we'll need to go back to the papers, and I'm gonna go with a light green, I think. Yes, light green. And then to frame my daughter, we'll go with the teal. So this particular, because it's about her hiking expedition, we'll make it more about her, and it works quite well with little Flip. I'm just going to group these bottom photo spots together. Again, Control G, and then this top one, again, Control G. And the reason I chose this kit was for the word art. So we've got lots of different elements in here, and I quite like the whole idea of she's going on an adventure. It's a quest, really. They've got to achieve something. So let's go with adventure. quest. I want these above that photo, not underneath it. So, and discover courage, because you certainly had to do that, to just keep going and not quit. I'm going to give these word strips a drop shadow, and I want to make sure that it matches the same style of shadow that's in this template. And so if I go to that group photo, we've got the photo layer, we've got the photo matte layer, and then we've got the photo layers drop shadow layer, which is using the multiply setting. And I'm not totally sure what color that is right now, so we'll go and have a look in a moment. So we're going to go to special effects, outer shadow, and with the photo color selected, I'm going to go over here to the color of that shadow, which is now matching that. So it's a dark grey, and we'll stick with multiply, and I'm going to make it so that we can see it's lifted up above that photo, and then I can copy that drop shadow to my other items by grabbing hold of the FX symbol and drag dropping it on top of the others. But I think we're going to make them all a little bit smaller. I think they're a bit too big like that. So I've got them all selected. I'm holding down the Shift key and just reducing it so that they're all reduced by about the same amount. And then this collection has the kit with those words in it, but it also has a word art pack. And inside this word art pack, we've got growth lies beyond comfort, and you are capable of more than you know. So again, I think we're going to make them a bit smaller, pop them there, and again copy those shadows over. So now I have the main pieces of my page, got the papers in, got the word pieces that I wanted to put in to capture the whole essence of what this page is about, and photos. So I could put journaling in next, I could put some embellishments in next, but actually I think I'm going to go for my title next. Now, one of the things I wanted to do with my title was to write the word silver in silver, but I don't have any silver alphabets in my collection that I also have permission from the designer of this collection to use on my videos. So I have got this set, which is nice copper in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the copper. This is by Jensen, and I'm going to recolor it so that I get what I want, which is something a bit more silvery. So again, going to the very top, I'm going to go and collect my letters. So S, so there we have silver. Right, let's just line them all up. So there's this alignment tool at the top, and I'm just going to align them all from the vertical alignment to the bottom of each letter. And then I'm going to Control G to group it together. Now, because we want to make it silver, the easiest way to recolor this is going to be use a black and white adjustment layer. So with silver selected, I'm going to go to Adjustments and collect black and white. Now, this has actually applied it to everything, so I'm just going to grab hold of it and apply it to only silver. And there we have my copper word now turned into a silver one. I'm going to copy across special effects, but I'm going to make it a bit less. That's it. Okay, I will make that smaller, I think. So let's pop it over there. And then for the Duke of Edinburgh bit, I want to take on the whole thing that it's outdoors and it's an adventure. So I'm going to go for a wooden alphabet. There's another of Kim's. This one is from Woodland Friends. And we're going to have a capital D. And we'll go D of E rather than Duke of Edinburgh. Let's line those up. I'm not sure if I want to line them up at the bottom or in the middle. Bottom. And let's group those and then copy that shadow across. So I think I'm going to put the silver on top of the Duke of Edinburgh. So I lift it up so it's above it. And let's make the D of E a bit smaller. And then I have my title, which can go over here. Right, then let's get rid of layer which has got the title in it. So that's the main, that's looking good. I like that. So in here, I've got some journaling spots. Let's just double click on that. And let's just write in there her name, which I will later. Venture. Oh, that's not working. Let's zoom in. Where have I got that? There we go. Adventure in Berwyn. And change the font and get something that will fit into that better. And I'm going to make it look like the words were written on it before the paper got a bit torn. So if I go to where the paper is inside that grab hold of that journaling, put it into that slot, it's now in there so that it looks like it's part of the paper before it got torn. And let's choose a font. Let's see something I've used recently. CK Journaling works quite well. Or ink free. Now I think we'll go with CK Journaling. And I want to adjust the spacing. And I'm going to do that by switching into the Typography Studio. So because it takes up lots of space on the side, we're just going to max this out. Go Typography Studio. And where we've got the character tab, go into position and transform, and this one down here is the leading override, and we're going to override it by making it a bit smaller, which brings the text a bit closer together so that it's not hidden by these words. And then let's go back to vector and back to being able to see the kits at the same time as the text. I want to make that text darker, so I'm just going to take a colour from my daughter's clothing, and I'm going to go change the blending mode to linear burn and reduce the opacity a bit, so it's like the ink is soaking into the paper rather than floating on top of it. Now let's add some embellishments just to finish off the page and make it look pretty. So let's go back to that kit by Lynn Quest, that's it, and there's the elements. So let's have a little look at what we've got in here. I haven't really explored the elements too much detail. So have we got any fern elements? It doesn't look like it. Got a leaf here. some sort of flowers. Oh, here we are. I've got some ferns. There we go. That'll work quite well with the fact that there was too many of them apparently. Right, so let's go underneath the photos and grab some ferns. And then let's just pop that in there. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. This one here, which is quite little, it's work quite nice down here. And let's copy that, right click duplicate, and then pop that one down here as well. Quite like that. Actually, no, I don't need that second one, so let's take that out. So we've got those stamps in there, and then let's just go underneath these words and pop one of these in. So let's see, what colour am I going to want? Let's try this neutral colour, because I think that's going to be too dark. Actually, no, that works. Maybe if we offset them, put that smaller, lighter one there. And we've got bulldog clips, we've got tape, got arrows, these little asterisks, all those arrows. Let's see. These. Down here. Just going to line them up, center them. And then a lighter one. And that nearly finishes my page, but I need to put a date down here. So it's text. And it's July 2026. Let's use the same font that I've already used. There we go. Thank you very much for watching. Many blessings to you all. As usual, if you have any special requests, either of products that you would like to see me use, themes or techniques, do let me know either in the comments on my YouTube channel or over on the forum at TheLilypad, where you'll find me as Angela Toucan. Blessings. Bye.